So we'll start seated in a comfortable seat, sitting on the heels or cross-legged. We'll just do a little breathing exercise, and then I'll give it over to Amy. One of our members here is just gonna go through some essential oils and crystals and some information more on the heart chakra. So go ahead, sit up tall. I always like to sit up on a cushion, or if you have a pillow. Real quick, we're gonna use a rolled up towel towards the end. If you have no yoga bolster, that will work, but we're gonna do it along the spine in the end for Shavasana. A rolled up yoga mat will work as well, or any kind of blanket. So sorry if you're already sitting and that's not nearby for you. Go ahead and grab that and then come back. And so rolled up towel, rolled up blanket, something to place along the spine. I'll use this cushion here. Something like that could work too. We're going to start with alternate nostril breathing. Finding that comfortable seat. Helps to sit up on something, lifts our pelvis up so we can find more of a comfortable position. Have the pelvis more in a neutral position so that we can sit up tall, really ground down through the sit bones. And just close the eyes here. Take a couple breaths. In and out of the nose or in and out of the mouth. Coming into our space. All right, alternate nostril breathing. We're going to take our right thumb, press the right nostril in, and we're inhaling through the left nostril. Inhale. Pausing at the top of the inhale. And then switching, using our ring finger on the same hand, closing the left nostril, exhale through the right nostril. Now inhale through the right. Pause. Close the right, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Pause. Close the left, exhale through the right. And then go ahead and do this on your own. We'll do about 3 more times on each side. The pointer finger and the middle finger, you can kind of place on your forehead, between the eyebrows, if you're not sure what to do with those fingers. Just going back and forth, thumb and ring finger there. A great way to balance right to left, find center, find grounding. About 1 more time on each side, and when you finish, exhaling through that left nostril. That's the last before we release the hand. And we'll release that hand, just taking a few deep breaths here. Notice, check in. And I'm going to hand it over to Amy here for the next minute or two to talk a little bit more about the chakra. Amy can unmute here. So sitting in that comfortable seat. Where is she? I lose her? Oh no, I hear her.
Okay, so very appropriate that we're talking about heart chakra today. It's also a lunar eclipse, and this lunar eclipse is very much about the heart and opening it up and, you know, relationships and love and all this stuff. So super excited about that. So the heart, of course, associated with green, it's all about love and joy and finding your inner peace. And it's, of course, the region is just directly surrounding your heart. Some really great crystals for supporting your heart chakra are things like green stones, any kind of green stone basically, but especially emerald, green aventurine, amazonite, and rose quartz. Rose quartz is one of my favorites to use for the heart chakra, and that's really about love and opening up your heart and taking down any heart walls that you may have built up around that chakra. Some really good essential oils, anything basically with a green label. So you're thinking things like lime and marjoram and eucalyptus and thyme And rose. Rose is the oil of love and heart center. So it's usually on the more expensive end, and it's a really delicate oil and one of the most prized oils. So rose is always my go-to. And also geranium. Geranium's a really good oil for supporting your heart chakra. So when you're looking at your heart chakra, if it's underactive, things that will manifest are, being shy, or just, again, having those heart walls up. So feelings of getting hurt, feelings of loneliness, or feelings of being unloved. If you're maybe suspicious of people, you're not very trusting, you're possessive, maybe a little antisocial, judgmental. And again, just those fear of relationships has to do with those heart walls being up. And if it's overactive on the other end, you're overly empathetic, overly concerned with other people. It's all about finding that balance, having that concern for others, but also protecting your own heart. Jealousy, having poor boundaries, some codependency, clingy, tendency to stay maybe in some type of abusive relationship, even emotional, or, if you have that back and forth with someone, just really looking at balancing your heart chakra and where your heart walls are. And over-sacrificing. A lot of times, us, even as women, as mothers, we over-sacrifice ourselves, and that all has to do with the heart chakra and having those good boundaries around that. So if you're underactive, you're looking more, again, towards rose quartz, geranium oils. If you're overactive, emeralds and melaleuca, tea tree oil, is a really good one. So when you're balanced, you have lots of feelings of compassion, you're very understanding, you're loving of yourself and others. You are empathetic, but just the right amount. You have more inner peace, and you have a really strong immune system. Your immune system is very attached to your heart chakra. And then physical, if you're having issues, so you're thinking, of course, of disorders of the heart, things around your heart, like your lungs and your breast, or maybe your thymus gland, something to do with that. Upper back pain can be heart chakra related. So if you have a physical pain in your back, you're having issues, I would invite you to look at some of the heart things and the heart walls you may have built up. And circulation issues, again, asthma, anything with the lungs. And if you are immune issues, and for me, that's a huge one. I have autoimmune. I've always had an issue with trust. My heart walls are up. So this is the chakra that I actually work on the most. So, and then a great affirmation is, I am giving and receiving love effortlessly and unconditionally. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as we work through this. Thank you, Lindsay.
Yay. Thank you, Amy. That was so good. If you could just, maybe in the chat box, put that quote real quick in there again, so I can repeat it towards the end, so we can remember that. Thank you so much. All right, let's come out of our seat. We'll come into a tabletop position. And keeping all that in mind, we'll talk a little bit more about the chakra, but let's get some heart opening, and we'll focus on the back of the heart, but mostly the front of the heart. So finding a tabletop position, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips, and we'll just cat and cow here. So lifting the heart up, sit bones up, you could lift the gaze here. And then as you exhale, round the back, tucking the chin, really lifting up the back of the heart. And just moving with your breath. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift. And then exhale, round the back, tuck the chin, tuck the tail. A few more rounds at your own pace. Moving with this flexion and extension of the spine. But you could also take the hips a little into it, or maybe shake out the head a little bit. Shoulder shimmy. That's just such a fun word to say, shimmy. All right, one more round through. Hi, Indy. Oh, I have to mute. All right, one more time through here. I'm going to make sure everyone's on mute. All right, now coming into thread the needle. So take the right hand to the center of the mat and lift the left arm up. Left arm up, and we'll thread the needle. So this left arm comes underneath the right, lower to the outside of the shoulder, the cheek comes down, or the side of the head here. Walk the top hand forward. We're opening the back of the heart here. So really start to sink into that bottom arm and really reach that top arm forward. And through the back of the heart once again. Couple more breaths. On your next inhale, start to walk the top hand in. We'll just press up gently into tabletop position and then take it to the other side. So right hand to the center, left hand to the center, right arm reaches other side. Thread the needle. Lower to the shoulder, the cheek, the temple, down, and then walk the top hand forward. Few breaths there. As you breathe, notice the back of the heart, the back space there expand as you breathe. Couple more breaths. Just breathing into the back of the body. And then go ahead and walk that top hand in. Press on up to tabletop position. Walk the hands forward a few inches. We'll come into down dog. So tuck the toes, come up and back. Few breaths here. If there's any movement that feels good, you can pedal out the feet, bend the knees, shake out the head. Maybe take the heels a bit side to side. So the words I have written down for this chakra is compassion. Huge one for where we're at right now. Love, unconditional love, and joy. Let's go ahead and take the gaze forward. Walk the feet forward to the front of the mat, and we'll just ragdoll for a couple of breaths. Knees bent, feet can be apart. Let the head go forward, shake out head, yes, no. And that compassion, that unconditional love, may not always be for everyone else, also for yourself. Or most importantly, right? We take care of ourselves before we can take care of others. Go ahead and bend the knees a lot. We'll roll up one vertebra at a time with the head and neck be the last to come up. And then just roll the shoulders up and back a few times. Once you're there, then we're gonna take it right back down. Inhale those arms out and up, reach up, look up. And then exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back, or we can grab opposite wrist or forearms. Open the chest, inhale, and then forward fold, exhale. Bend the knees if you need to, feet apart or feet closer together. Maybe the arms start to come off of the back a little bit. And let the head go forward. Couple breaths here. Really opening the chest, the heart. And release those hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands can come to the shins or fingertips reaching the floor. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back into plank. Inhale there. Feel free to lower your knees or just lower all the way down to the belly through chaturanga, elbows in. Flowing with cobra a few times here. So tops of the feet down, hug the elbows in, lift the heart off of the floor. Could be a little bit, could be a lot of it. Lift up and then lower down. Let's flow with the breath. As you inhale, we lift the heart off of the floor, lift, 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 shoulders away from the ears. And lower down. One more. Think about pressing the pelvis down and the tops of the feet down as you lift the heart up. Inhale. And exhale. Lower the chest to the floor. Tuck the toes. Come right up into plank or knees down and back. Down dog. Couple breaths. Inhale. The right leg lifts. Exhale. Step the foot forward in between the hands, or we walk it forward, or you could even use your hand to assist the heel a little bit. Drop the back knee down, and we'll sink the hips forward here as we lift the heart up. Arms can come overhead, and maybe start to lift the gaze. So our heart is lifting up, up, up towards the sky, the ceiling, as we sink our hips forward. We could come into it a little deeper, taking the left hand to the back of the left thigh, or maybe even to the calf, or even to the heel. We want to take it back, but still sinking the hips forward. Inhale, one more breath. And exhale, release the hands. Step back, down dog, couple breaths there. Whew. From down dog, left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands or walk it forward. Back knee releases down. Come on up. We're sinking the hips forward, reaching that front knee forward. Arms can extend up. We could just be here, lifting the heart up, up, up. Or reach that right hand back, maybe behind the thigh or calf, or reaching for the heel is going to be the deepest. But keep the heart lifting up towards the ceiling. One more breath wherever you are. And release. Take those hands down. Step back, down dog. Feel free to take a child's pose if you'd rather here. A couple breaths. We'll move on. Check in. Next inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip here. You can make some circles with the foot in one direction and the other if you'd like. So keep it here or flipping over into wild things. So it's like a half back bend. We're taking our right foot all the way over to the left, keeping that left hand down as we reach the hips up and reach the right arm up and back. Wherever you are, one more breath. And wild thing, flip it back over, three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward in between the hands. This time we stay on the ball of the back foot. Rise up, crescent lunge, arms overhead. Hold here for a moment, check in. We're gonna take the hands behind the back, opening the chest, heart once again. Interlace fingers or reach opposite wrists, elbows. Lift the heart, lift the gaze. You can always release this back knee down here. We're gonna lower into humble warrior. So taking the heart forward to the inside of this front knee and let the head go. Maybe lift the arms off of the back. Couple breaths there. If you're feeling a little wobbly here, you can flatten the back foot. That might stable just a bit. Lift those arms up and over. And then inhale, come on up. Release the hands, crescent lunge. Exhale, hands release. Step back into plank, inhale. Exhale, lower the knees or to the belly. Up dog or cobra, inhale. Heart lifts, maybe coming up a little higher. Down dog, press back. Left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip, stay here. You can work with the ankle circles. Or flip our dog, coming into wild thing. So that left foot comes all the way over to the right. You lift the hips. Left arm comes up and over. Gaze back. One more breath. And flip it over when you're ready. Three-legged dog, inhale. Exhale, step the foot forward, crescent lunge, rise up. Arms overhead. Shoulders soft away from the ears, belly in. Interlace the fingers behind the back once again, but this time opposite thumb on top, which may feel funky at first. Inhale, open the chest, lift the gaze. Exhale, humble warrior, release to the inside of this front knee. Feel free to flatten the back foot. Let the head release. On your next inhale, rise up. Crescent lunge. Ooh, feels good to open the heart. Release the hands. Step back into plank. Vinyasa through to the belly or hover or knees down. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Down dog, press back. Whew. All right, feel free to take a child's pose here. We're gonna move on in just a couple breaths. So that was really the fire, the power of the practice. All right, from down dog, come on forward into plank. Inhale there. And then exhale, lower down to the belly. We're gonna come onto the forearms for Sphinx. So bringing the elbow below the shoulder and the palms down, fingers spread wide. Pelvis is down, tops of the feet down. And then lift from there, lifting the heart from there. You might lift the gaze just slightly, but we don't want to have some kind of extension in the neck, nice and long there. You might just lift with the eyes rather than the head. And then like you're kind of pulling the mat back towards the belly with your hands as you lift the heart up. Couple more breaths. Inhale. And exhale, release. We're releasing into crocodile. So bringing the arms in front of you, or you can just stack the hands or stack the forearms and just place your head on top of the arms or the hands and just let go there. Neck is neutral. Letting the back of the heart just kind of open and soften here. One of my favorite things about this chakra, this heart chakra, is it's the center of all the chakras. So there's 3 below, and then there's 3 above. So it's the center, right? The love, joy, the center of everything, right? Couple more breaths. Then we'll release the hands, take the hands underneath the shoulders, pressing up and kind of back here. We're taking our hips over our knees. We're coming into puppy pose. So it's like down dog, in between down dog and child's pose. Walking the hands forward and then reaching the heart towards the mat. So our forehead might come to the floor. Deeper is going to be the chin reaching towards the floor. But most of us will have the forehead down. We could also walk the hands, bringing the palms together, the elbows down, and lift those palms pressing into each other above the head. And that just gets more into the back of the arm, more around the underarm there. Couple more breaths, whichever position you're in. Slowly release. Stay on the knees. We'll walk the hands back towards the knees or camel. We're just one after the other here. Opening the heart front to back. So the knees are about 2 fist width apart. We take our hands to our lower back. You might bring the thumbs together at the sacrum or fingers pointing up or down. And then reach the heart up. Hug the inner elbows towards one another. You take the gaze up. And this might be enough. Or we start to follow the ceiling back. Maybe tuck the toes under, reach for the heels. And maybe drop, try not to say drop, maybe release the head back, if that's okay on the neck. One more breath. And as you come up, you'll lead with the heart. Let the head and neck follow. And sit back on the heels. Take a couple breaths, just take that in. Do that one more time. So when you're ready, come on up. Onto the knees, about hips width apart, hands to the lower back. Lift the heart, lift the chest, lift the gaze, and keep lifting up as we start to go back. We want to lift up and find length in the spine, most importantly. Maybe tuck the toes under, reach for the heels. One more full breath. As you come up, lead with the heart, let the head and neck follow. Sit back on the heels, take it in. Close the eyes here. And slowly come into a child's pose. We'll stretch that out before we make our way onto our back. Stretch out the lower back here. You can wiggle a bit side to side in child's pose. And then come on out. Walk the hands in. We'll swing the legs around. And for our Shavasana, we will be using a rolled up towel or a bolster or a rolled up yoga mat could work too. You could even roll up the mat you have. We will use that for Shavasana. So we're very close to that. So if you want it nearby, but we'll come into bridge pose here first. So on our back, walk the heels in, feet are apart about hips width. And then bring the shoulder blades a little bit together under the body. Palms down. And when you're ready, lift the hips up, bridge pose. You can interlace the fingers under the body if you want, or just keep pressing into the palms and keep lifting the hips, rounding down into the feet and opening that heart, the front of the body, creating space for breath. And the element of this chakra is air. I love this quote I read. What was it? Oh, air, like love, is within and all around us. I love that comparison and explanation, sort of. I like to think of love like air. It's surrounding us all the time. Go ahead and release, come out of that. We'll do that one more time. Just pause, ground. And then when you're ready, go ahead and come on back on up to bridge. Maybe interlace the fingers. You could maybe play a little here, extending the right leg and the left leg. One more breath, but with compassion for ourselves, if that's what we want to do here. Inhale. And release, exhale. Take it down to the mat. Just bring the soles of the feet together, butterfly the knees open. Just take a few moments here. We can place our, left hand, both hands over the heart. Let's just take both hands to the heart. And breathe into that heart space. Few deep breaths. Releasing anger, releasing fear. Letting in love, joy, compassion, empathy. For others, but for ourselves as well. It's like the mask, the oxygen mask on the airplane, right? We have to assist ourselves before we assist others. All right, go ahead and release. Take the hands to the outside of the knees, the thighs, and help the knees together. And let's just find that rolled up towel or cushion, whatever we have. Ideally, it's kind of long and skinnier. It's going to go along the spine, but we also want to support the head. So if you have a shorter, then just make sure your head is supported as well on the rolled up towel or on a pillow or a block. Shavasana, restorative Shavasana. Let us be supported by this prop. Laying back, we don't want our head to tip over the edge, so make sure head is supported. And then extend the legs out, extend the arms, palms face up. Just let the shoulders soften on either side of the towel or pillow. Let the heart open here. So we've already explored the first, second, and third chakra. The first being earth. The second, oh, water, of course, water, fire, and now we're air, element of air, surrounded by love, joy. Take a nice deep inhale. And open mouth exhale, sigh it out, let it go. And just let the breath be. Softening around that heart space. In our affirmation, I'll just repeat, I am giving and receiving love effortlessly and unconditionally. I love that. Thank you so much for joining, everyone. The light in me, the light and love in me sees the light and love in all of you. Namaste. Thank you for being here.